Welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video here on the Onkruid channel. Playing with the Elementalists today on the second map with the second level of curses, and I guess we will just make quick work of it if the trend of me beating this game easily continues. Although I should watch my words, because I feel like I'm getting way too cocky for when the final levels of difficulty are actually gonna hit, and I'm just gonna be completely flabbergasted at a sudden difficulty increase and get stumped by this Soulstone Survivors game right here. Still though, I'm just excited. I'm excited to play even more of it. I upload a bunch of Soulstone content lately. I have about 3 videos in the pipeline right now. I'm thinking about doing some more unedited videos in it as edited videos in it as well, so that I can always upload 2 Soulstone videos a day. And a main part of that is because I just want to play a lot of the game, and I want to do it yeah, let's go for bleed. And I want to do it on camera because I want to share my experiences and my fun little times with you guys, of course. But also the views on this game are insane for my channel. I get consistent double digits, and it's quite rare for a series on my channel. Crosscode, for example, is really dying down. That's why I'm only gonna continue that for a little while. We haven't used the poison cloud yet, so let's see how that looks. It's something that moves around. Yeah, you can see it here on the ground. Beautiful. Also, my buddy Krogren notified me of a setting. He notified me of that in the comments of the latest video that was uploaded, but by the time this video right here you're watching right now is uploaded, that's gonna be a whole while back already. But he notified me that, well, you can always turn off the vividness of the colors of your own abilities, kind of dim them down a bit, kind of filter them out a little bit more, so that you can clearly distinguish between what is actually yours and friendly and what is from the enemy. Don't mind if I pick that legendary multicast upgrade. Alright, careful now. The 2 elites are of course here because, well, we have a nice difficulty increase since last time. Let's go for a little poison doom build, and I definitely should have picked the doom upgrade there if I wanted that. Another multicast for the magical side of abilities, so we can focus on that in the sideline as well a bit. But poison doom, always a very potent combination, because I think you also have certain abilities that make those stacks overlap. Whenever you apply poison, you also apply doom, or, well, there's a chance to do so. And doom in itself is a very potent effect. It's a nice boss killer. So a nice poison and doom build. Just a darkness necromancer type build, even though we're not playing with the necromancer. I think that's another class that we are still yet to unlock. I don't necessarily see any poison or doom in here. Void is for sure one. And then that vortex is also gonna be very much handy. Look at that void. We just picked it up and it's already triple casting because of all the multicast upgrades we got already. That's perfect. Dazed, there's a chance of applying burn. That's not necessarily what we're looking for. Let's go for the damage increase for the void right now. Although maybe it's the wrong choice, because burn is also a nice effect to apply. Either way, I like to focus myself on one specific type. Ooh, cursed seems to be the same. Seems to be the same as doom, but more focused on an AoE. That's another little mechanic we can introduce into our build right here. But what I'm saying is, I love like putting all my effort and all my resources into one single mechanic. Like, for example, with the purity build that we did a while back, or in the last video maybe even, I want it to be just pure physical damage and pure just slapping without applying effects to make the rune have its full effect, its full possible effect, of course. And now, for this time around, I want it to be purely darkness and poison focused. Alright, this boss is giving us a bit of a hard time though. He has quite a large health bar, or we don't have that much damage yet. And because we don't have that much damage yet, I think we can't reach the full potential of the doom stacks because we don't apply them fast enough. But either way, you saw the potency of it right there. Shadow spikes or poison? Are we really gonna go for doom, or really gonna go for poison? You know what? Doom it is. Disregard everything I already said about applying poison. No, it's the doom build time, and we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have fun with it today. Just like I had a lot of fun yesterday. Went to see Stan Christ, an amazing techno DJ, but like the hard techno, the industrial, very just hard techno, leaning into even hard style or sometimes. which is a music genre I usually do not really enjoy, but when it's like on the boundary, I can still very much enjoy it. And it was an enjoyable evening at that. The only thing, and this is something you will always hear me say whenever I go out for a little party or something, people smoking inside can really suck my dick. They can just like, for real, like put my phallus into their mouth and give it like a little, like a cow's teeth when we're looking for milk. Man, that really grinds my gears. I hate it so much when people are smoking inside, because it even kind of ruins the evening for me. That might sound, well, I shouldn't have picked that. That was a stupid upgrade choice. It might sound a bit overreacting, but my throat hurts so much and there's just no reason for it to do so. Why can't we just have the smoker's throat hurts and the non-smoker's throats be fine? You know, it's kind of a little pet peeve I have, a little thing that really annoys me. Just go outside if you want to smoke. You don't have to do it inside. Even one of the DJs was smoking in the middle of his set, and I'm like, not a nice example, but I think I am just a bit of a pussy on that front. I'm nagging, and I think a whole bunch of other people don't mind that at all. They think it's part of the culture, part of the vibe, I guess, or something maybe. But for me, no thank you. Keep that nasty cigarette smoke out of my face, please. And your clothes, the smoke really gets into the fibers of your clothes, and it doesn't come out even after washing it sometimes. The same with your hair. It's something something I am quite an advocate for, of not doing that. And of course the clubs don't actually want you to do that. They want you to go smoke outside, but nobody actually gives a shit, sadly enough. How are we doing with this build right now? Are we able to make quick work of this lord, or do we need something else, something new to spice up our damage? I feel like we're doing fine, because he died quite quickly, but we are still looking for that game changer, you know, that little oomph. I haven't gotten it so far. Maybe replacing our beam is not a bad idea either, because we have the multicast build going for now as well, and I don't think a beam really benefits from multicast all that much. I could be wrong in that, though. It's still things to discover, because the game hasn't been out all that long in the grand scheme of things. I guess by now we are keeping the poison cloud, right, because we have chosen so many upgrades for it already, so let's just try and make it work in our build as well. All in all, though, enjoyable evening, that's for sure. Damage increase for physical. Oh, Poison Cloud is apparently a physical skill. We like to see that. I was home at 6:10 in the morning, so it's not going to be the most productive day in my life right now, but it's a holiday. It's a holiday to commemorate, I believe, the end of World War I today, the 11th of November. And of course, an important event to remember. Definitely a piece of history that I want to maybe learn about more, actually. I know the basics, that Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated by Gavrilo Princip somewhere in Austria, I think, and that was like the main catalyst, the main big bang that caused World War I and stuff like that. And I know that the Germans were heavily involved, and the other countries in the world were also involved. You see, that's kind of where my knowledge of World War I stops, and I definitely want to learn more about that. Not just for quizzing purposes, but because I feel like World War II is always put in a spotlight so much, and you learn a lot about that on different sources. Everybody's always talking about World War II and the atrocities Hitler committed and the violence against Jews and all that stuff, but I don't really know for certain what World War I was actually all about. And it's definitely something I want to get more into, because I think it's a very important part of history to remember. Remember the things we as humans did to each other, to hopefully be able to not do them again. Maybe Putin can take a little page out of that book. I think he missed his history class on the World Wars as well, because he is driving us pretty close to it, sadly enough. Although I must say that I am not that knowledgeable about politics in general, because the World Wars are of course very much engulfed with political themes and actual politics, things that are happening right now, the contemporary political events, and then also the reason for the war in Ukraine, how it's going by now after it's been going on for a while and stuff, are not really things I know a lot about either. And that's quite a shame, but I think it's also because I don't watch television and I don't watch the news, and well, general news sources, I think, have kind of lost their way, you know, they have lost their vision. The same people reporting on the wars in Ukraine and the atrocities committed there, people losing their families, fathers headed to the front and then lose their life and leave behind children and wives. Those same people are reporting on like, oh, this Dutch television personality just got her nipples pierced. You won't believe the photos on Instagram, you know? And I find it hard to then take the actual important articles with a note of seriousness, you know. I find it hard to believe that those people that write about those second topics are competent in writing about those first topics as well, so I don't know where to actually get my information. All in all, just to say that I think I don't put enough effort into finding the right information and then actually doing something with it. Because it's one thing to read about it, but then to remember it is a whole different thing, of course. You need to actually use the information in some way, shape or form, which would, for example, entail a political discussion on this channel in one of my videos. But that's something that, oh damn, that fire lord definitely does a lot of damage. That's something that is not something I do on this channel because I have no knowledge about those things. It's kind of a bit of a paradox, a bit of a circular problem, if you will. I don't talk about it because I don't know about it, but I don't know about it because I don't talk about it. Whenever in real life political discussions come up, I just always zone out as well, even when it's just about the Belgian politics, because again, I don't know jack shit about it, and I don't necessarily want to know anything about it because it's a subject that doesn't interest me in the slightest. What are some of the subjects that interest me though lately? Art. I downloaded this little Anki flashcard deck. If you don't know, Anki is a flashcard app where you can kind of present yourself with a question or a picture or something, and then you need to press reveal the answer to see if you actually knew what the question or the picture was about. And I downloaded this massive question bank on famous artworks, and it's so hard to learn that because it's just straight up like, hey, you have to imprint this knowledge in your head so that it doesn't come out anymore. It's not like about understanding or anything. No, it's just consuming vast knowledge and making new neural connections in my hippocampus to actually save that information somewhere. And I am very bad at recognizing artworks and painters and stuff like that, because that is another piece of the puzzle of information out there in the world that exists for us humans together. Another piece of that informational puzzle that exists out there that I just have never really accounted for in my life and in my daily habits. Sure, I love watching a nice piece of artwork, I love going to musea and stuff, museums, but I'm not that fond of remembering people's names because I find that always very hard. But now, Bruegel, Rubens and stuff, for example, and then also Ernest, I don't know his name anymore even, but those are some of the artworks that I spotted, and I'm trying to remember them more and more because it's also a very often asked quiz question, of course, artists and their works and a certain type of artwork, for example. The Utrechtse Caravagiste is in Dutch an art form that was asked on one of the hardest quizzes I ever attended, and even the person that normally knows all about art and sculpting and stuff like that didn't even know about it, so it's something I will never forget. Although I remember the name of the art form, right? But if somebody would ask me a question about them, I probably couldn't answer still because I don't know what they actually are about, what their paintings look like, and which people were representatives of that art form. So I guess I only fought the battle halfway. There's still so much to learn about every single thing in the world, and there's still so much to learn about Soulstone Survivors. But what we don't need to learn anymore, though, is how to defeat the second level of curse difficulties on the second map, because that's something we just did. Win a match with all curses up to included tier Dead Claw. So we unlocked that again. It's an ability we're already familiar with, of course. In the next episode, the Whispering Grove, curse difficulty 2. I hope you will enjoy that one as much as I will do, and I hope you will enjoy that one as much as I did this one, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. All to say, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.